Hey, lovely people. It is your girl, Kea Simone, coming to you straight from the 313. And you already know what it is. It's all love. Yes. So today we're doing a dramatic reading. Yes. Welcome. So we will be doing a dramatic reading from my book, From Pain to Love. My heart belongs to him by yours truly, your girl here, Kea Simone. Yes, you can still get a copy on Amazon if you don't already have it. But just, thank you for joining. Yes, yes. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into this dramatic reading. Mm-hmm. Yes. So when you come in, just go ahead and, let us know you're here. You can go ahead and drop a like, make sure you subscribe if you're new here. But let's just go ahead and get started with this dramatic reading. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, country mama, welcome. I'm about to do this dramatic reading. Today I will be reading from Changing Seasons, chapter 6 of my book, From Pain to Love. Country mama, check your email. I sent you a email telling you about your free book. So let me just jump right in. Changing Seasons. Weeks and months passed, and I spent the majority of time searching for a job. As they often say, finding a job is a job in it of itself. And my case was no different. From time to time, Shantae came over and we'll bounce ideas off one another. I called it what do you think about this game? One particular day, while engaged in our new game, Shantae threw out a scenario that totally threw me for a loop. What do you think about going to the military? The what? I said, unable to make the connection. Yeah, the military. What do you think about me joining the Navy? Why do you want to do that? I said, unable to make the connection for what was driving her to join the military. There's nothing here for me. I'm in school, but it's getting expensive. If I join the Navy, I can have a career and they'll help me with school. I was silent. Truth be told, Shantae telling me she was contemplating going into the Navy felt like a breakup of some sort. Sensing my disappointment, Shantae added, what if we join together? I can put you in touch with my recruiter. Knowing I wasn't interested in joining the Navy, I simply responded, yeah, that is a thought. The reality was, I wasn't ready to be away from home. I didn't know what I wanted to do long term. An awkward moment of silence passed. Well, think about it, Shantae added before taking a sip of her Pepsi. The conversation quickly switched to a more upbeat one, teasing one another about the physical appearance of past love interests. It was something we'd do from time to time, enjoying jokes and accompanying laughter between two great friends who were growing up and possibly apart. 2.5 months later, Shantae enlisted into the Navy. Things seemed to be going good for her. We communicated by mail for the most part and telephone whenever possible. Honey wasn't too keen on accepting collect calls, but she would allow them from Shantae occasionally. I was still unemployed, so Honey decided to intervene. Although that she didn't want me to get stuck working at a plant like she did, she knew I had to start somewhere. She brought home a job application for me to fill out one day. I spoke with Jim. That's Jim for me, and Mr. Glasson for you. I spoke to him about you possibly working at ABC Automotive. ABC Automotive was an auto plant that made car parts for Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors. It was located at 11 Mile and Groesbeck in the city of Roseville. Honey had been working there for years, in addition to working at Hudson's part time before that location closed. Oh, thanks, honey, I said, nearly jumping into her arms. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Don't you embarrass me. I am putting my reputation out there on the line trying to get you in. You do what you're supposed to, and don't worry about trying to be among the popular folks or going on dates with every man that says hello or tells you that you're pretty. Although I knew Honey was serious, what she was saying was funny to me. Honey and I both enjoyed a warm laugh, something we hadn't shared in quite some time. Before I knew it, plant life was my life. Honey worked the day shift, and because I was new, I was assigned to the afternoon shift. My hours were from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 11 o'clock at night. I didn't have a car at the time, so I had to catch the bus to work. But after my shift ended, Honey would pick me up. I felt bad about inconveniencing her, especially since she was getting up there in age. So on occasion, I'll take a taxi home. I was determined to get a car. I worked relentlessly, even clocking overtime when I could get it, so I could save up for a car. When I had finally saved $2,500, I started looking for a car. I was tired of bumming rides. As a Christmas present to myself in 1995, I bought a used white 1986 Datsun. It had a small dent on the right bumper, but I was focused on getting me to and from, not on its looks. Unfortunately, the car barely lasted 6 months before it broke down on me for the 100th time. Whew, the poor experience led me to consider financing a newer car that would be free from total breakdown. Like most things in life, getting finance was no simple feat. It too came with its share of complexities. For the most part, not having any credit prevented banks from approving my application. After weeks and weeks of trying to obtain automobile financing, someone finally said yes. Although not my first choice, I settled in a 1996 Burgundy Ford Escort. Mm. I felt as though my life was starting to come back together. Between the loss of my job at Hudson's, the loss of my girl Shantae, who had joined the Navy, and my plummeting self-esteem, I was affected in ways I was unwilling to admit. But things were starting to look up for me. I was a fighter, and I knew it. I kept my car immaculately clean, often visiting Lucky's car wash for a car wash and vacuum. Lucky's was owned by my high school classmate Julius Davidson's family. Tuesdays were known as Discount Tuesday, which meant you can get a full service exterior wash, wax, tire cleaning, and interior vacuum cleaning for half price, which was $6. And whenever Julius was working, he'll give me an extra $5 off, leaving me only having to pay $1 for a full service cleaning. I couldn't beat that type of deal, so I took advantage of it often. As I stood outside watching the attendants put the final touches on my car, I was startled by the revving sound of a motorcycle pulling up behind me. I turned around and watched the man as he tussled with his helmet, trying to pull it off. Hey, beautiful, he said, after finally freeing his head from the helmet. I turned back to face the attendants. Sure, the man was talking to someone else in the vicinity. Oh, so you're going to do me like that, he said, after I didn't respond. Turning to face him again, I answered, do you like what? I said, trying to elevate my voice over the sound of the motorcycle's engine. Ignore me, he said, gliding forward and backward on his black Honda motorcycle. Well, I wasn't sure you were talking to me, I said immediately, taken aback by the man's stunning looks and his radio sounding voice. Well, look around. Looks like you're the only beautiful thing standing in front of me. I blushed. You got a minute, he said as he turned his bike engine off. I'm really on my way to work and I'm kinda in a hurry, I said, trying to play hard to get. Must be someone on the job that got your attention then. He was flirting and digging for information at the same time, but I was loving it. Nah, it ain't like that. Work is work. I keep it professional. I lied. I was going out with men on the job all the time, even though Honey had always warned, you don't sleep and use the bathroom in the same place. I had broken the cardinal rule more times than I cared to admit. So, why don't you tell me your name? Destiny, I said, moving backwards a step or two in an attempt to get the sunlight out my eyes. You look like a Destiny, he said, getting off the motorcycle. Thank you, I replied, sizing him up. A good 6'2" or 3 inches tall with the whitest teeth I'd ever seen and a matching wide smile. He was good looking. Aren't you going to ask me my name? He said, walking up to me. I chuckled. I hadn't realized I didn't ask him his name. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name? Zeke. Zeke Wallace, he said, looking deep into my eyes. Zeke, very different, I thought. Do you have a number so I can call you? He said, cutting to the chase. You gonna call? I said, flirty. Absolutely. And you gonna teach me how to ride that? I said, pointing at his motorcycle. I'll teach you how to ride anything you want, he said with a sly grin on his face. I blushed again. After scrambling to find a blank piece of paper, I finally just received a crumpled grocery store receipt and neatly wrote my name and phone number on the back of it, making sure the heart above the I in my name was fancy. I folded the receipt and slid it into his jacket pocket. He smirked. I'll definitely be calling you, he added, winking as he turned away and got back on his motorcycle. I smiled and watched him as he restarted and revved the motorcycle's engine back up, pulled out of Lucky's premises, and sped down the street. Zeke and I played the cat and mouse game for weeks as I refused to give in to his eagerness to go out on a date. Between work and going out with other male suitors, I had to find time for Zeke, and eventually I did. My first date with Zeke was very untraditional, to say the least. He arrived at my house around 6 o'clock that day. I heard him pull up, but the ring at the doorbell but he rang the doorbell before I could get downstairs, which meant Honey was going to answer the door. She judged every guy I dated. I knew she had let me know her opinion of him with nonverbal cues. Destiny, she called out. I'm coming, I yelled, which was something Honey really wasn't fond of. I looked in the mirror one last time, making sure I was pleased with my appearance. I'm good, I thought, grabbing my purse off the bed before walking out the room. Honey must have told Zeke to make himself at home because he was comfortably sitting on the sofa in the living room when I got downstairs. Hi, I said in a bashful tone. He was even more good looking than I remembered. Honey was standing near the bookcase in the corner, fumbling with the picture frames that had either fallen over or were leaning backwards. Some of the frames were old and worn, and the pictures inside were stuck to the glass. I waited for Honey to look at me, and when she did, I attempted to introduce the two of them to each other. Honey, this is Zeke. Zeke, this is my girl. We done already introduced ourselves, right, Zeke? Honey said, looking at Zeke and then back at me. I could tell she wasn't too fond of Zeke. Honey didn't like pretty boys. She said they thought the world owed them something because they were good looking. And because of it, she said she wouldn't give them the time of day. And I guess that's why she settled on Albert Crawford Sr. From the pictures plastered around the house, as well as those in the countless number of picture albums, he definitely wasn't easy on the eyes. You didn't need to guess that my mother and her siblings got their looks from Honey, not their father. I'm ready when you are, I said, looking at Zeke and then at Honey through my peripheral vision. She had turned her attention back to organizing the picture frames, and that was good because I wasn't interested in hearing her opinion at that moment. I was captivated by the fact that a hot guy was interested in me. Me. Nice meeting you, Miss Honey, Zeke said as he stood to leave. Mm-hmm. You too, Honey replied without turning to look back at him. I picked up something to eat. I hope you don't mind, Zeke said as he opened the passenger door for me. What did you pick up? Hold up, he said, closing the door and walking to the driver's side. I bought sandwiches and some wine, he said when he got in the car. Meatball, huh? I could smell it. Turning to look at the bag from Mazzoli's in the back seat. I remembered you said you liked their subs. Yes, I love them. I figured we would sit down at the botanical garden and enjoy a good meal while we get to know one another. I thought it would be better than sitting at some stuffy restaurant listening to music that we've never heard before, he said, buckling his seatbelt. His suggestion was out of the norm, but I was down to try it, and I was glad I did. I learned a lot about Zeke. He was honest about quite a few things. What he wasn't honest about, I was sure I'll find out soon enough. We definitely vibed well, but I noticed he didn't ask a lot of personal questions about me, such as my occupation. I was smart enough to know why, so I started probing him myself. So, what do you do for a living? I'm going to be honest with you, and you can decide what you want to do from here. Okay, I said, inhaling. I just got out of the pen about a year ago. I nodded, giving him permission to continue. I sell. Honey's intuition was always on point, but I wasn't going to judge him because he sold drugs. Drug dealers made the best boyfriends. They always kept money in their pocket, in your pocket as well, the most stylish clothes on your back, and the most expensive bling bling around your neck and fingers. So Tell me more about your family, Zeke said, unaware he was requesting that I open a can of worms. Like I told you, I live with my grandmother and my two cousins. Well, they live with us on and off. Whenever their mom, my aunt, gets sick and tired of them, she ships them back to my grandmother. Hmm, Zeke responded. What about yours? Your family is angelic compared to mine, Zeke said, chuckling. I don't think they got any worse than mine, I said, stuffing the last bit of meatball sub in my mouth. Trust me, y'all ain't got nothing on us. My mom's been an addict most of my life. Well, since I can remember, Zeke said. Well, Shannon was no addict, but who was I to judge him based on his mother's status? Honey was a missionary, and I was turning out to be nothing like she hoped I would turn out. I didn't pursue college. I was engaged in premarital sex, and had it not been for God looking out for me, I could very well have been a single parent. So, what about your father? I finally said. I know him, but he's always been too busy for the family. Too busy trying to be renowned pastor, following my grandfather's footsteps. Do you guys have a relationship? He'd like to say that we do, but I'm not interested in being all chummy chum with someone who doesn't practice what they preach. He's a hypocrite. He's a pastor, but I have a sister who's 8 months younger than me. Such a hypocrite. I know the sentiment, I said, looking past Zeke at a couple dancing in the distance as if they didn't have a care in the world. Guess we have some things in common, huh? Zeke said, pouring wine in my glass. Yes, I said, lifting my field glass to propose a toast. Here's to us. May we find love and happiness, he said, announcing the toast instead. We clicked our glasses together before taking sips of the red wine. This wine tastes so good, I said, taking another sip. Where'd you get it from? The winery. That's my kind of thing. I do wine tasting and the whole nine. You know, you have to come with me sometimes, he said, winking. Seem like it's your style, he added. My style? I said, pointing my finger at my chest. Yes, classy. I can tell you're not like a lot of these other girls out here. What do you mean? You don't seem like you like a lot of attention drawn. A drama feet free kind of lady. How can you be sure? I said, raising my eyebrows. I'm a pretty good judge of character. The compliment was flattering, but it was just the beginning. And guys will say anything in the beginning of a relationship. After all, they're trying to lure you with the words of nice deeds. The devil never reveals who he is in the beginning. Plus, I knew myself all too well. I had the propensity of being dangerous. I fought hard not to fall in love. In my book, it was a weakness. I was notorious for recycling men if I needed to. Loyalty was a rarity in my life. I hadn't experienced much of it during my lifetime. By night's end, I was up in the air on whether I would continue to see Zeke. I genuinely liked him, and I believe he genuinely liked me as well. Only time would tell. Even though I had reservations about moving forward in a full-fledged relationship, I enjoyed my moments with Zeke. Being whisked around town in his black BMW convertible and sometimes on the back of his motorcycle made me feel like I was his queen. I think our commonality was the broken relationships with our parents. And I believe it was the glue that kept Zeke and I coming back to each other. We knew one another's vulnerabilities, we didn't judge each other, and we understood each other. It was as though in a perfect world, we were meant to be. But due to our issues, a healthy, loving, and lasting relationship would never manifest. Neither one of us could fully or accurately articulate the phenomena, but we knew it existed. And the natural seasons were changing. So were the seasons in my life. The combination of ensuing relationship with Zeke, the job at the plant, and having a car I was proud to own and drive began to shift my perspective on life. I started feeling better about myself, even though I still had feelings of insecurity stemming from the rejection and abandonment of my parents. And because of it, I still battled my own demons, demons that arose with me in the morning and went to sleep with me at night, telling me I was unworthy of true love. Externally, exhibited confidence, but on the inside, the confidence scale was on E for empty. Hey guys, hi. I'm finished. Yes. Hey, country mama. Thank you. Country mama, yes, your book is coming. I don't leave the house, and my assistant had she had a baby, so I have to find me another assistant. So that's what happened. So yes. Hey, the Miss Creative. Hi, Rhonda. Hey, guys. So thank you, Country Mama. Yes, remember to hit that like button. Remember. The like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let me know that y'all see it. So yes. So what did y'all think about that? That explains, this is the backdrop. So I wanted to do a timepiece. So I didn't want to just jump into the story. Sometimes people be like, oh, it's moving too slow. Okay, I need to know, you want to jump straight into the drama. So if you were here when I read chapter 1, which is Kismet, she's sitting, the Destiny, the main character, is sitting in the doctor's office. Her doctor is telling her she has HIV. So we need to know how she got there, because when she's sitting in the doctor's office in chapter 1, she's like, how did I get here? Like, what happened? So we had to go back and revisit her whole life, from, her grandparents, how, they, interacted with each other. Then we had to talk about her first boyfriends, because if you notice that she was really insecure. When she was like, she was surprised that Zeke was trying to talk to her. She was like, who, me? And, a girl like me, he's the hot guy around town. And, she just felt like she wasn't worthy. But, that's because she didn't know her worth at the time. So, yes, this chapter just really just opens the door to my favorite character, Zeke, okay? It introduces Zeke. If y'all don't know by now, Zeke is my favorites, okay? If Zeke existed in real life, that would be my boyfriend. I love Zeke. Zeke is her number one fan. Zeke loves him some Destiny. Zeke, that's the character that Corey Black plays, when we do our dramatic readings together. He brings that bass and the voice, and you can just imagine Zeke just being that 6'3", because when she said he pulled up, he was 6'3". Like, Zeke was fine, nice teeth and everything. So yeah, that's where this chapter came from, changing seasons. Because last time I did a dramatic reading, she basically had lost her job. She was just going through some stuff. She didn't know if she wanted to go, to school. She just didn't know what she wanted to do in life. And now she's working at the plant. But you remember Honey said in the chapter I just read that she didn't want her to get stuck. So sometimes we get stuck, and just get content. And that's what Honey, her grandmother, didn't want her to do. Yeah. And, did Honey remind you of anyone in your life? Because Honey, sometimes when we're young, we get caught up. So Honey right away told Destiny, I'm gonna get you this job, but don't go on that job and start sleeping with folks. You know how they always say, you don't, sleep and mess where you, poop where you work at. So, later on, she admitted that she had been, she defied what Honey told her. Now, stay tuned. If you got the book, you can go ahead and read ahead. But is it gonna bite her in the butt? What's gonna happen? Because Honey warned her, don't sleep. Don't be sleeping with these men on this job. You know, it's gonna cause you too many headaches. So we'll see if what happens with this job and her sleeping around. What's gonna happen. But yeah, Zeke is my favorite. Do you guys have any questions or concerns or comments for me before I leave? I just wanted to go ahead and make sure I drop this dramatic read for y'all tonight. Yes, 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 yes. So here's the book. So again, I don't have much for you guys tonight. I'm just, after I finish this live, I'm gonna go get in my bed. But make sure you guys also stay on the lookout for the lives with Corey Black and myself, Corey versus Kia. I don't think y'all ready. Y'all got a little taste last night when Corey dropped in, but I'm looking forward to that. I like the vibes. Rhonda said, yes, Honey is like other grands. Yes, Honey was getting her together. And Honey was like that intuition. Honey was like, young man, I see you. And she knew. But yeah, even though he sells drugs, Zeke is still my favorite character. I just always was rooting for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out, guys. I love you guys. So let me go ahead and send some hearts your way. Thank you guys for stopping by. Again, this is the book. If you don't know what it looks like. Rhonda, I got check your email, Rhonda. I sent you an email. You said you got it. Country Mama, check your email because I sent you guys an email. So again, what happened was my assistant, I'm gonna have to find me a new assistant. She probably still say she can work, but she has a new baby. Wow, thank you. So Rhonda, which video did you watch? You said you watched a video of you and 6 guys from December. Oh, so Rhonda, I'm gonna be doing another one of those. So we're gonna do another male panel. So I already, we're putting the questions together. But we're doing another male panel. So guys, also stay tuned because I have a show coming up in February. And it'll be late, it's gonna be ladies. And the topic is basically surviving divorce. And I'm gonna cover surviving divorce because when I went through my separation, people really didn't keep it real with me. And all people did was quote scriptures and say, "Oh, we've been made last for a night, and joy gonna come in the morning." I was like, if I hear that scripture one more time, and it's not that I'm not a believer, it's just like I needed more. So we're gonna do a show on surviving divorce or life after marriage. I don't know what I'll title it, but yeah, we're gonna do a show at the end of February, the last Saturday of February. I was trying to pull my calendar up, so that would be the 26th. I'll put the flyer up so you guys don't miss it. But yeah, we're gonna do another show with the guys to get more information from the guys, more of the male perspective. But again, I thank you guys for supporting me early on. Yes, it was Corey, JL, Dr. O. We had Ron from Ready to Love. We had another musician on there. We had quite a few. We had a nice little panel. Oh, we had Sean. So you remember Sean? Sean was the one who told y'all to put y'all granny panties up. And we had Mike. Yeah, Mike. Mike is a musician from Detroit, and he writes plays and stuff. And I think he worked on a movie. It's Chocolate City, I believe. Not Chocolate City. It's Chocolate Kisses. So Chocolate Kisses. He has a movie out called Chocolate Kisses. So yeah, make sure you support those guys. Thank you, Rhonda. I love it. I love it. I hope you're enjoying the content because I'm just, trying to make it out here in these YouTube streets. I'm working on a new book. I just gotta, get some things together, but just stay tuned. Again, I thank you guys for supporting me early on. Peace. Oh, thank you. You listening in the clouds. Thank you. You guys are so supportive. You guys make me feel loved. I really appreciate you guys. I do from the bottom of my heart because this YouTube game is not easy, okay? And like I said, I show up for y'all. You know, like I have 1 million followers. I love you guys. You guys are taking this ride with me early. So I love you guys. You are my 1 million followers. Thank you. And I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro. If you guys like my little song, you can listen to it on your way out.
Yeah, you're now tuned into Women of Power with Kea Simone. Never lose yourself trying to find someone else. Hey, Women of Power. Women of Power. Women of Power. Never lose yourself trying to find someone else. Women of Power. Women of Power. Women of Power. Never lose yourself trying to find someone else. Woman with power. Woman with power. Say